Hey, we're Saints. Father Chris here. Welcome to our crucifixion live stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us. And Deacon Greg, as always, we is live having a conversation. And we're going to talk about pressure. So I led with this a while ago and, in a homily with the community here. But there was probably maybe more than a month ago, there was a period in my life where I was like so brutally under pressure. And forgive me as I get a little personal with it, but there was just a million and one things happening all at the same time, like in no particular order. Within our team here, we had some hiccups within the workings, the inner workings of the team. We had to work them out, and it wasn't really a big deal, but it was enough that it caused significant amounts of stress. Um, we had a beautiful, beautiful assistant pastor here in the community to help us, and he was yanked away from us to go to another church. Anyways, we miss him dearly, but that puts a huge burden on, right? I mean, like if you think about it, we have 1,000 people that we deal with in our community, and that's you and I, man. You know what I'm saying? And there are some things
Mhm.
that I can't do that you do, and vice versa. I mean, it's a lot of pressure. Again, all of our people are awesome, but there's 1,000 of them. There's only two of us. Um, there was, in my personal life, I was, I don't have tons of money, but I want to do whatever I can to set my wife up so that if I drop dead tomorrow, she can raise my girls, no problem, put them through college, get them married off, and then, all that stuff. Well, I had what for me, maybe not for others, but for me was a significant business opportunity that would have really taken a lot of pressure off of me to give security to her in the event that I dropped dead. But in the process of getting that security, and finding that relief from the pressure, it was incredibly filled with pressure. I mean, it was like, it was, it was, I don't even know what the words, because I don't know business very well, but it was enough that I was like pulling hair out. The Warrior Saint stuff that we do, I mean, awesome stuff, but total pressure, constant work, constant grinding. You know what I mean? Like people always say, like, you to both of us, which is very gracious. Oh, you guys preach so well. You make it look so easy. Well, thank you, but and we try, but it's not easy, right? It takes a lot of work.
Mhm.
Last part of it, I guess, there was, someone, you remember this on one of the previous live streams, I had said some things. I was using an example, and in using the example, I offended someone, and tried to find that person to apologize, and I couldn't find him. Nobody I mean, I don't know the person's name, and the people I know that know the person wouldn't give me the name or the number, so I couldn't find them, and it bothered me, not because, like, everyone makes a mistake, everyone does rotten things, we have to apologize, but it bothered me that I couldn't connect to that person. It put just, internal pressure on me because I felt compelled to apologize and was really unable to do it. All of that to say I was not a very, very happy person. I know you guys probably know, um, being around me at that time was probably not great because I was just being the word I use, is the feeling is being squished,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Tell tell me more about how that made you feel.
If I felt
Can you
like,
unpack that a
what
little
I
bit?
felt like? I said this in my homily: a grapefruit in a vice,
Yeah.
commercial vice, in a garage where you crank it and it's just like
Yeah.
squishing.
And you have those days. We all have those days. Like the other day, I think I said to you, I literally went into my garage alone and I just let out a primal yell
Mm.
because I was having one of those days where I was just feeling like everything was, you almost feel like everything's conspiring against you. Like
Yeah.
I looked at my wife, Diana, when she got home and I said to her, if we didn't just have the full moon, I would be convinced that it was today
Yeah.
because of the way the kids were acting, the way everyone around me was acting, just the way everything was going. It was insanity. And the grapefruit in a vice, like it just feels like your head is being compacted.
Yeah. Now, look, we're talking about things that are important to us personally, but they're not end of the world stuff, right? I mean, your kids are young, having a rough day or week. It's
Mm.
awful, but it's not going to end the world. What do you do then when it's like, you imagine the real stuff, the real pressure?
Mhm.
Somebody has, who's a parent, and they have their kid who may be sick, or as a child, their parent may be sick, an older parent,
Yeah.
or they may be sick. And I say sick not with the flu. I'm talking like,
Yeah.
life-threatening issues. I mean, that's heavy, right? Some things that may not be quite as imminent as life-threatening, diseases are like, college. It's another one. I think about our kids all the time. I'm going through it with my second one right now. Um, the work and the pressure that those kids feel to prepare to get into college. Like when I went to college, it was really simple. I wrote a letter and it said, "I like you. Do you like me? That was how we got into school. It's not like that anymore. I mean, tons of things that they have to be involved in, and they're squeezed. And then when it comes time for the process of application, there's pressure because it's not a merit-based thing anymore to get into college. You know, merit's part of it. It's a small part, but a lot of other factors go into it that are outside the control of these kids. Pressure. Then you think about like business, jobs. I've got to get this report in. My boss is mad at me. I'm the employer. My employee didn't show up. You know, how am I gonna make, you know, the third quarter results and, you know, and do all these things, which then leads to pressure on money. How am I going to put bread on the table? How am I going to provide for my family? Like I was dealing with that silly business deal for my family, right? Like that kind of stuff adds up. And the other one too, I talked about this, noise. Right. I'm talking about noise that we hear, not just volume, audible volume, but cell phone stuff and all the socials that we see in the news and all the crap out there. And I guess the last part of that pressure, maybe it's a third part, is the internal pressures that we put on ourselves, right? Like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not who I'm supposed to be, right? I'm falling short. I'm not valuable. I'm not worthy. Like you said, the whole world may be conspiring against me. Like everyone's against me and after me, you know, all of this stuff. And I'm sure our audience has their own list, or some of this list, and can add to it as well. It can become overwhelming.
Yeah. It almost becomes, it's a funny thing to say, crippling. I like the word overwhelming, but I also feel crippled by it. Like I feel sometimes when I'm in those moments where there's so much pressure, there's so much going on, that I don't know where to move. I don't even know how to move.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next steps are.
It's like the freeze and the
Yeah.
fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah, like you just, there's so much going on. It's easier to just sit back and just stop. And when you say noise, I know what you mean, but let's not also discount the actual physical noise that surrounds us.
Absolutely.
Every single place we go.
Yeah, totally.
Places are getting louder. Places are pumping music louder and louder and louder, which just elevates everything. And it's, and as we get older,
can't take it.
That noise, especially in the background, makes it hard for us to focus. And it really starts to do damage to how we can see a pathway through.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you said that, like, dude, I don't have a gas car anymore. I drive electric, but I remember just a few years ago when I stopped at the gas station and I get out of the car to pump gas. I'm like, it was one of those days, you know, where everything was conspiring against me. I'm like, I'll just have 2 minutes of quiet while I pump the gas. There's a freaking TV on the gas pump now, and they're talking, hey, do you want to purchase?
Yeah.
Like, it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
So the real question, I guess, Deacon Greg, then is, you know, how do we get through that? How do we deal with pressure? I mean, we've pounded it, you know, to death. It's there, and we all know it. Everybody has it. Everybody feels it. They all know what we're talking about. How do we deal with it?
Well, I think it's great that you've set the stage the way that you've had, that you've just set that stage. I think there's got to be a way through it.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about crucifixional living, and I think that is the way through it.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that you get through all of that is by following God's commandments. I mean, they lead unto life. They work us through there. And I'm excited to see how we move things out throughout this discussion, to see how that gets played out and where that all goes.
Hey, Warrior Saints, thanks for joining us. To watch the next part of the episode, join us again tomorrow. And as always, keep walking on the way of the Warrior Saint.